you've been watching me for a few years, you would know that I am a ride or die for Laura Mercier. I just think that they have top of the class formulations and the best color ranges that are sensible, wearable, and flattering on so many skin tones. I really trust their products. So today I'm going to do an updated full face of Laura Mercier. I'm going to be talking about some of my favorites from the brand, as well as talking about new items that have launched since my last full face video of Laura Mercier. Perfect timing because right now Laura Mercier is having their friends and family sale, so it's 20% off site-wide. You get free shipping. And there's a free gift with purchases over $65, no exclusions. The sale's going on from September 17th to the 25th, so I'll have the link down below that you can shop the sale. Sale season is starting, so you guys get ready. And I'm really excited because today's video, I'm actually working with Laura Mercier. They are sponsoring this video. I'm so grateful that they are working with me when I've already done a good number of Laura Mercier videos, so this one's a little bit extra special. I'm excited because I have a mix of new and old products. So everything that I'm using in today's video will be linked in the description box down below with all of the shades and all of the details that you need for that. I have more dry skin. My favorite primer, Laura Mercier, was the very first makeup primer that I ever used. So I've used their primers for years. I have to say my favorite has always been the illuminating primer because I'm more on the dry side. They have recently redone the packaging and revamped their primer line. So online, the packaging is going to look a little bit different. I'm just trying to finish this up first before I open up the new packaging. But the new packaging is a little bit more slim and tall like this. This is the hydrating one. This one is also very good, but I like a little bit of glow. They've recently actually revamped a good number of things in their line that I'm going to show you today. It's always nice when a brand does a little bit of a refresh in the line, keeps things interesting and more trendy. I like this primer because it feels really lightweight on the skin, but is very hydrating for my dry skin type. But because I do like a little bit of glow, this adds just the perfect amount. It's really healthy and it's so pretty even on its own if you don't want to put any makeup underneath. Sometimes I like it to be really natural like this for when I put on a skin tint or something very, very light, which if you don't know, Laura Mercier has the best tinted moisturizers ever. But we are going to go a little bit more full coverage today because that's the mood that I'm in. So I'm going to go for the now iconic and super viral Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. I have been a fan of this foundation since the day that it launched. And I remember when this went viral, I was so happy. I was like, yes, finally people are going to get to experience this formula. It's a really lightweight consistency, almost like water. It's one of those formulas where I can't believe how much coverage you get with this because it feels like you're wearing nothing. It's very perfecting on the skin. So I'm just going to push this in. It has about a medium coverage, but it leaves a really polished, smooth look to the skin. Kind of a semi-matte, demi-matte finish, which is another reason. This pairs really, really well with the illuminating primer because of the finish that it has. I believe this foundation was in maybe last year or the year before that, whatever year it launched. It was in my favorite foundations video for the end of year favorites. And I think this foundation is really good for all skin types. If you do have dry skin like myself, it will help you to make sure your skin is hydrated and prepped. But it lasts super well and doesn't look dry as the day goes on. And then, of course, if you have oily skin, it's nice and not a super wet, creamy foundation. So it'll last longer with your oils. And then to complement the Real Flawless foundation, they also have a Real Flawless concealer, which is pretty close in mimicking how the foundation feels. I mix up a couple of shades in this that I'll have linked down below. I do the lighter one more towards the inner part of the eye, and then the more skin tone one, more towards the outskirts of the eye. And so like the foundation, it's quite thin, so it really blurs into the skin nicely. And I like to circle the concealer on the inner part of the eye because that's where I carry a lot of blue I'll take extra and put it on my nose since my nose is a little extra red. And then soften and pat everything out with a sponge. So this is a very thin concealer. It gives about a medium coverage, I would say, but it pairs extremely well with the foundation. They're very clearly in the same line and meant to be used together. Now, I do have a new to me product from Laura Mercier, but I'm putting their trust in them because Laura Mercier is iconic when it comes to powders. They have one of the best translucent setting powders on the market, and they have for the last 20 years. So they've launched a new ultra blur formulation. So this is a little bit different from the original, but it's still going to be that really cult classic finish. And this is in a new color, rose. So it's a peachy pink shade that's supposed to brighten and blur. These powders are talc free and they have the true natural matte kind of finish. One of the most blurring powders I've ever used. So the fact that this is ultra blur, we'll see. So I'm just going to fold up the powder puff. And I like to get the excess on the back of my hand and really even out the product on the sponge. I'm going to show you the before and after. Oh, that does add a little bit of a rosy tone. That will get a little bit right here. This is where you can really see how blurring a powder is, because I have a collection of pores around this area. And this is why Laura Mercier is one of the most renowned powders out there. It did really soften this area, and it doesn't look too heavy and powdery, but it's a heavy enough powder where if you have like oily skin, you're not going to look oily and greasy at the end of the day. It will control those oils for you. The Laura Mercier powders is just one of those powders that I always come back to. There's a lot of good and a lot of not very good powders on the market, but every time I go back to Laura Mercier, I'm just like, they know what they're doing. It will always be one of the best powders. I like with the rose one, you get the really pretty rose cap. Okay, now Laura. I'm going to be a little bit constructive here. If there is one category that Laura Mercier could add on to, it is bronzing. I picked up, this is my first time trying it, it's not new to the line, the Matte Radiance Baked Powder. But every time I've done a full face of Laura Mercier in the past, never really had anything for the bronzer category. So let's see about this. And you know, bronzer is such a popular item right now. What I would love to see from Laura Mercier is like a stick bronzer. I feel like a stick bronzer or a stick contour would be really, really nice from them. Anyways, this is nice and soft. Very easy to apply. Not too pigmented, I like that. This is quite natural. It is a very warm shade, so this is going to give a sun-kissed effect as opposed to actually contouring. That's pretty. That got the job done. I'm wondering if I should put some on my eye. I'm going to refrain for now, but I might want to later on. Ooh, okay. I've quite literally been waiting to tell you guys about this. It's not a full face of Laura Mercier where I don't mention my deep love and affection for their powder blushes. They call these the blush color infusions. And for a while, if you guys watch my channel, every Sephora sale, I would pick up a new one of these until I had every single fruit that existed, because these are named after fruits. There's like peach, watermelon, grapefruit. I have all the fruits, but there was one that I was missing. So I have a new one to test, and then I think I officially have every single color of these. This is the shade Grapefruit. You can see why I maybe was a little bit hesitant, but lately I've been enjoying more bold blushes like this and just using a really light hand, and I find really blurring it out gives a natural look. These are my favorite blushes. They can't go wrong with these. I just feel like, first of all, the line of colors that they have is super wearable. Maybe not the most exciting when you lay an eye on them, but they're colors that I constantly keep going for because they're so flattering on the skin. It's a formula that's blendable. It's not too pigmented. It's not too sheer. It's not glowy or anything. It's kind of like a nondescript formula. There's nothing that meets the eye that's unusual about it, but it just works. It's one of those classic products that works. So I've talked about those on my channel for years, so I had to mention these because they're my favorite product from Laura Mercier. I'm going to try grapefruit today. Let me get a smaller brush. I'm going to do like a tap, but these aren't too pigmented, so I don't have to be too light-handed. Oh, that's really natural. And then you can build it up, especially if you're of a deeper complexion. These will build up, but for me, I'm just trying to get that really natural flush. This gives, I just spent some time out in the snow. That's really cute. It has some warmth to it though, as opposed to pink, but that makes it look more of a natural flush. Okay, so by what meets the eye, grapefruit would have made me nervous to purchase, but I'm glad that I've been experimenting with these bolder blushes lately, because then I never would have experienced this one. Just an easy to use formula. Do you see how it's not patchy? How it just took a couple dips into the product and I got the exact finish and blend I was looking for. A staple blush for me. Just a reliable formula. I do have a new highlight. This has been on my wish list. This isn't brand new from Laura Mercier. I've been eyeing it super hard, so finally I got my hands on. This is technically a blush color infusion, but it's in the shade All That Sparkles. So I'm going to use it as a highlighter style product. Yeah, so almost like a blush topper. So I'm going to keep it towards, not too high as you can see, but towards the top of the blush where it fades off. So that way it gives a really natural glow. That's really pretty. And then at the tippy toppy of my cheeks, these were so underrated, the liquid highlighters. Now these, when I first tried them, I was a little unsure, but it was a product that I very quickly learned to love, and I actually ended up liking these more than some of the most popular version of these. Trying to decide, we'll go for champagne pink. So these are a little bit more natural than some of the more popular ones on the market, but I've found that I really like that because it doesn't emphasize texture, so it has a really seamless look to the cheek. And I have a bunch of powder on. I've fully set with the setting powder. I have powder bronzer, blush, and that highlighting blush, and this does not disrupt powder at all. That's how you know a formula is good quality. But there's something about this that looks so smooth on the cheek. And at first I wasn't sure if I liked it because it was more on the natural side. But I felt like every time I wore this and I looked at my cheek, I was like, oh, it looks so smooth and pretty and balanced on the face. So this is one where after the initial use, when I wasn't too sure, I used it again and I was like, oh, wait a second. They are onto something. Moving over to the eyes, I know when it came to this video, I had to feature these products because I have re-fallen in love with these products this year. I was on a mission, a secret mission, really. I really didn't broadcast it on my makeup channel, but off camera, I was on a mission to find the best eyeshadow sticks, and I always knew Laura Mercier was known for their eyeshadow sticks. I've used them in the past, but I was coming at it with fresh eyes, new experience. I was retrying all of these eyeshadow sticks, and guess who won? Laura Mercier. They have my favorite eyeshadow sticks. They're just the easiest to use. They recently redid their Caviar line, so there's new eye sticks, there's new lip liners, there's new lipsticks, so some of these shades are brand new. Anyway, so I became a fan again, all over again, of these eyeshadow sticks because of how easy they are to use and to blend. I'm starting off with the shade Mocha, and I'm just literally placing it in my crease, and I'm taking a brush, and do you see how easy that blends out? These are effortless to use. They're great for travel because nothing is going to break, and for travel, you know, I find I don't really like putting on makeup. I don't wear too much makeup when I travel. So these eyeshadow sticks give the illusion that I spent a lot more time than I did, but it's just so much more mess-free. And you have the option, you can draw it on like I did. You can use your finger to blend out. You can take your brush directly to the product, whatever you're most comfortable with. They're super easy to use and they set down and they last. They do not crease on me. So when it comes to eye crayons and what I look for is that they're easy to blend, but they last a long time. They almost have a powdery dry down that are similar to regular eyeshadows. And that's what the Laura Mercier has. I'm taking a smaller pencil brush, still in Mocha. And I'm just lightly running that along the lower lash line as well. So that added the perfect background to the eye. And I like Laura Mercier's as well because they have a metallic finish, which a lot of brands don't do good with metallics and eyeshadow sticks. But of course, Laura Mercier does. I don't even have an eye primer on, you guys. So this just gives the prettiest gleam to the eye. Again, you don't worry about fallout. I just use my finger to press it in and make sure everything is even on the eyelid. I'm going from inner corner to outer corner. And then if you want even a little bit more oomph, you can go in with a powder shadow, and the powder shadow will stick to the eyeshadow stick and make it even more vibrant. I'm just going to leave it at this today. Do you see how easy that is? These are the best for those simple looks. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Cocoa, which is an even darker brown. And I'm taking a small smudgy brush like this. Just going directly on the product. And I'm just blending that and mushing it into my lash line. And this is going to be the natural smudgy liner for today. Effortless. Like, I know that this video is sponsored by Laura Mercier, but I truly hope that they've chosen to work with me because of how much love I have had for the brand all these years. And I'm so happy I went on this little secret eyeshadow stick mission and that I rediscovered these because they are the best and the easiest to use. These are phenomenal for that really simple smudgy liner look. This is part of the new line for the Caviar line that they redid. This is the Extravagant Mascara. I haven't tried this yet, so I'm just going to pop this on. I don't have really thoughts or opinions on it quite yet. The brush is quite fat, and I have small lashes, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, this is nice and soft. I don't have much in the lash department, so I don't have too much of an opinion on mascaras in general. But this is building nice and soft, and it's not weighing my lashes down too much. I've tried a Laura Mercier mascara before in the past, and I didn't really like it. This one is really nice, actually. So long as it doesn't flake in the long run, that's actually really soft and pretty. But because I am a smallish girl, I am going to pop on some falsies, so I'll be back before we do the lips. Okay, I just split up one single wispy and did a little half lash situation. And I was playing with my Laura lip colors, and I want to do something kind of fall-like, a little bit like wine colored. So Laura Mercier actually just recently launched new Caviar lip liners. What do they call these? Caviar Perfecting lip liners. First time trying them today. So I'm going to try the shade Plush Pink for around the edges. And you guys, it's a pencil, a sharpenable pencil, a wooden pencil. I love them. I think they're a little bit of a drier formula, so they're easier to control. Oh, yes. It smells like a wooden pencil. I love it. Okay. Ugh. This is the texture I like. Wonder if it'll set down. Not too slippery. Great precision, and I really like this color. It's a few shades deeper than my natural lip color, but it's going to be the perfect outline to the lip color I picked out. So these don't set down, unfortunately, but you're able to blend them. We'll see how long they last. And then lip color. They also have new lipsticks. These are the Caviar Smoothing Matte Lipsticks. Tons of colors. The packaging is really weighty. Feels super luxe. Magnetic closure. Is it magnetic? Yes, it is magnetic. But, ooh. It's that heavy. Oh my god, my blushes. My blush collection just went flying. Anyways, what shade did I pick out? Okay, I think I said I wanted to do like a wine color, something more bold with my simple eye look. So I'm gonna go with Mulberry 510. Moire? I don't know. Has a very subtle floral fragrance to it. Ooh. You only need a little bit if you want just more of a sheer color. It's very, very thin. It's a matte formula. That's a good color for fall. I like that a lot. Excuse my hair. We are on day 3. But pay attention to the makeup because this is so beautiful. Again, the colors, the formulas, they're so flattering. They're so wearable. It's one of those brands where whatever you put on, it's just gonna look good. And I shared a lot of my favorites today, but I also tried a lot of new products as well that turned out to be beautiful as expected. But wow, again, a huge thank you to Laura Mercier for working with me on this video. It was truly a pleasure. If you're interested in any of the products that I talked about today, I'll have them linked down below. Do remember that Laura Mercier is having their friends and family sale right now, site-wide, 20% off, running up until the 25th. So everything that I mentioned, all the colors that ended up on my face, I will be listing down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.